From the KDHX studios in Midtown St. Louis, this is Collector's Edition. It's a show where artists are going to play their songs live and uncut in our studio and talk about the stories behind them. I'm your host, Christian Schaeffer. Join me for raw, honest performances and conversation. And welcome to the show. We have a special twofer edition this week of Collector's Edition. Phillips and Steve Poltz will be my guests this week. They toured together in the earlier part of this year. We recorded this in the middle of February, and both have records coming out in the middle of March. Phillips is called The Narrows, and Steve Poltz is called Folk Singer. We'll hear from both of them. We'll hear a couple songs from Phillips first, and then we'll hear from Steve Poltz later. I'll say this is my longest interview to date. Steve and Phillips took this one kind of away from me in a really great way. Lots of great conversation to come, and a lot of great songs, new songs as well from both these artists. A quick note about this week's show, there is some adult content in the lyrics of some of these songs, so just be warned. We're going to start with Phillips and the song Smoke and Sparks from his new record, recorded live here at KDHX for Collector's Edition.
One day, when these bones give way, gonna call my name and I will depart. And come that day, won't be afraid. I'll rise from the flames like smoke and sparks, like smoke and sparks out of this earthly hearth yonder of light. Like smoke and sparks. No more tears, one weight of years will disappear on the day I embark. Like a chimney swift who soars and darts, my soul will be lifted like smoke and sparks. Like smoke and sparks out of this earthly hearth yonder of light. Like smoke and sparks. It's not goodbye. Let's urge to fly as I take to the sky and the song in my heart. Like smoke and sparks out of this earthly hearth yonder of light. Like smoke and sparks yonder of light. Like smoke and sparks yonder of light. Like smoke and sparks.
right, you're tuned to Collector's Edition. I'm Christian Schaeffer in the studio with Grant Lee Phillips and Steve Poltz. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in and playing for us.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
We just heard from Grant Lee Phillips' forthcoming record, The Narrows. That song was called Smoke and Sparks, coming out in March, I believe. Sometime in
March 18th.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We're recording now in the middle of February, so we're hearing kind of an advance of these songs. So thank you both again for coming and playing for us.
Yeah.
We'll be hearing from Steve Poltz a little bit later in the hour, but I'm curious, you guys have been on tour for how long together at this point?
17 years.
17. Is it that really? Wow. Time flies. We did a tour last year together from the southwest all the way up into the redwoods, all up the western coast, right?
We did.
And we said, let's do that again. And so we started playing together back in January, and we started in Florida, and we've just been making our way about the U.S.
And I think I saw on your website, does this go like through April? It seems like a pretty long tour. Is that maybe just one of yours?
We're actually, we have one show left tonight of this particular leg. We speak of things in terms of legs.
Yeah.
We're on our last legs tonight in St. Louis at the old Rock House. And then Steve goes to Australia quite soon, right?
I leave for Australia in about 7 days, maybe 9 days, yeah.
I go off to Europe in about a month from now.
So great. So this will be the last night of the tour in St. Louis
we didn't
here.
even know each other a year ago, and we met on J-Date, which is weird because I'm Catholic, and we hooked up that way and ended
I don't
up
even
on
know
this
what that
tour.
is.
Oh,
J-Date.
so we ended up on a tour together, which is really cool, and it's been amazing. Like now we know each other so well, we really have had a great time. We didn't know each other at all when we met, and it's evolved into this thing. Now we can't wait to do it again. We were already plotting world domination for our next tour.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Maybe May, right? That's what we're thinking.
Yeah, Syria and Iraq, I think.
Do we have to begin there?
No, we don't have to. Damascus?
I mean, I could see doing like a house concert, maybe.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cliche that people say, being in a band is like being in a marriage. But I wonder how you choose a partner like this for this tour. And it certainly isn't as long as being in a band with somebody. But where do you see like a commonality between either your personality or your types of music?
It's funny. I think we probably do intersect, but there's very, very, there's kind of a Oscar Goldman, Felix Unger kind of relationship going on, Although I have a feeling that we're both a little more Oscar.
We are.
Yeah. We're slobs. So, I don't know. It seems to work, though, somehow.
When you're doing these shows, are you doing it as we're seeing you, just both of you on stage, or Grant, you're doing a set, and Steve, you're doing a set separately, or are you both
we do
intersecting?
both ways. We typically step up there together, and then we split off and do our own sets. I think that's kind of why it works really well as well. We get to kind of do our thing and stretch out, and then we get to come back together. It's like that Eagles documentary. We keep breaking up and getting back together, and for about 3 hours, same as the documentary.
It's a fascinating documentary, isn't it?
It is,
I mean,
right?
it's like such unlovable people make such mellow music.
Well, we avoid the whole fist fight part. We don't like that.
We reenacted it last night, though, the Eagles documentary. It was pretty fun on stage.
Yeah.
I make Grant play the part of the one guy that yells at Don Felder.
That would be Glenn Fry. Yeah.
Yeah, he yells at him.
He does, right? He threatens to kick his butt.
Yeah.
As soon as they figure, they finish that last.
May he
line of
rest in
peaceful,
peace. Yes.
Easy feeling, Well, yeah.
I don't know if you saw that documentary. It was pretty. I really liked part one, and then I started hating them part two. Like, I really liked them in part one. I thought it was cool seeing all the old footage and all the old Henry Diltz photographs and all the stuff that was happening in Topanga Canyon. And it was such a happening little scene. I even liked the way they looked, their style, everything. And then all of a
Lots
sudden
of denim,
they came
lots
back.
of turquoise.
And they looked like they were Tommy Bahamas. It was just like everything changed. It was all about the money.
Well, I went and saw them a couple years ago, and they all came out in suits and like with their ties strategically loosened. And I'm like, this is either like it's like a Reservoir Dogs pastiche, or what it felt like to me was like, oh, they just came out of a board meeting, because like
this is clearly an enterprise for them. This is, like I always figure with a band like this, you always hear the story like with the Rolling Stones that like Mick Jagger's lawyer faxes Keith Richards' lawyer about who's gonna like what,
Right.
like where does Happy come in the set is like a matter of negotiation. I just always assume with the Eagles like they just know this is a cash cow they can keep milking until.
Wow, I love the idea of Keith having a fax machine. It seems like he would
Maybe
have
it's a
a really
courier.
great old tube fax machine. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Just a great old fax machine.
He has Muddy Waters' old fax machine, actually.
I heard Keith Richards is going to replace Scalia.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, Obama is wasting no time.
Yeah, he's already named him as a potential.
You mentioned the Eagles, and are either of you Californian by birth? I know you.
I am.
You are, and you were born in Canada, but came as a young
Kid.
child.
Yeah, from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'm a dual citizen.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder.
Ted.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Me and Trust Ted.
Dual citizens.
Yeah.
I do wonder though the influence because you mentioned the Eagles and the sort of Topanga Canyon, Laurel Canyon sound. How place matters to your music because as we'll talk about in a minute, Grant, you've recently moved to Tennessee, but I'm curious if there's like some California spark, or if I'm just hearing things because I'm
probably is.
landlocked here.
There probably is in ways that we are not even conscious of, right?
Oh, a lot, I think. Yeah.
I mean, they can kind of peg us for a mile usually. When we walk into a Cracker Barrel, then they go, "Where are you guys from?" Right?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
you're correct in that.
Yeah.
statement.
And San Diego is such a different kind of experience than this. I grew up in the Central Valley, the rural part of California, and you got a lot of folks that moved there, like my parents from Arkansas and Oklahoma and, that part of the country. So very different. LA's totally different as well.
It is.
Yeah.
And Canada, Halifax, and my mom's from Cape Breton, and my dad's from Winnipeg, and so when we would go back there all the time, and it's just completely a different world back there. And I probably would have been not the same guy you're talking to had I grown up there, but instead of coming back sort of as an interloper at Christmas and summertime and stuff like that. But I like where I guess you always like where you live, I could live where Grant lives, though, in Nashville. I really
It's
like that
nice.
city.
But you know what's funny? I was just thinking, that whole canyon scene, when you think about it, it was dominated by people like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. A lot of the music that I grew up listening to, certainly with Neil Young, and that was sort of that was a Canadian import.
It
So
was.
I don't know who's to say, where all of your influences come from, especially when you're young, I grew up around country music, and I loved Cash and Bowie, It probably doesn't make sense, but musicians, we have no adherence to those divisions, We just go to what feels good,
Grant, how long have you lived in Nashville now?
About just a little over 2 years now.
And if I'm correct, this new record, The Narrows, is the first you made in Nashville, and you
Yeah.
kind of hooked up with some players there. Can you talk a little bit about the writing and
Sure.
recording of these songs?
There are a number of them that I wrote when I realized that we were going to be leaving Los Angeles and moving to Tennessee. A few of the songs reflect that, like the opening track, Tennessee Rain, kind of looking for, a place that had some new promise, a new adventure. And then there are songs that I wrote when I arrived there that I finished off, like Moccasin Creek, and Smoke and Sparks was a song that kind of came late in the game, I suppose, in terms of the writing. My dad was he was quite ill and passed away soon as we got there to Nashville, and so I finished writing that song at that particular time, So it's it's sort of a travelogue. It's also kind of a personal chronicle of a year or two that was very uprooting.
Would you mind playing another song from this new record for us?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'll play you one here that this is a song that I wrote with all of that Civil War history in mind. Tennessee certainly saw its share of that. Lots of blood in the ground. Let me think here. This is called Holy Irons. brother on brother lying in the fields. Only the devil is keeping score. Your blonde-haired boys are scattered along these hills, picked clean like cotton in a rich man's war. Lay down your holy irons, lay down your guns and shining bayonets. Lay down your holy irons. It's gonna be a job to raise the dead. Got no mansion on the Undermount, no plantation pillars all in white. Just a southern boy behind a plow, swept up like nothing in a poor man's fight. Lay down your holy irons, lay down your guns and shining bayonets. Lay down your holy irons. It's gonna be a job to raise the dead. Farewell, Cordelia, let me hold you close so I can remember how it feels. And if a bullet brings me down before I make it home, you know that I'll be dreaming of you still. Yes, I will. Little soldiers all in blue and gray, every one of us a bleeding red. When this broken body falls our way, we'll all lay down in the same earthen bed. Lay down your holy irons, lay down your guns and shining bayonets. Lay down your holy irons. It's gonna be a job to raise the dead. Lay down your holy irons, lay down your guns and shining bayonets. The broken-hearted Lord can only wring his hands. It's gonna be a job to raise the dead.
Grantley Phillips with the song Holy Irons from the new record called The Narrows, out on Yep Rock, 18th of March. Are you a student of history? That song you mentioned was, obviously inspired by the Civil War. I'm curious how that song came to you.
Well, yeah, I've always been taken with history. I think when you grow up with a name like Grant Lee, you you at least become curious about things like the Civil War. I'm also Creek and Cherokee, and so I've always been fascinated with that whole story. The Native American story. The one that doesn't get told a great deal, and that's another thing that kind of informs my songs from time to time. So yeah, sure. A fan of history, and an observer of the current state of things. Kind of a news junkie that way.
Do you see kind of a connection between that song and modern day politics or modern day warfare?
It's hard not to see that parallel. The idea that we are so so frequently being pulled into wars that that you and I we wouldn't necessarily choose of our own, but as a group we seem to get pulled into these things, and I don't know. I mean, sometimes we don't even really understand what they're all about, Maybe we never do, And I think that probably was, I try to put myself in that place, what that would have been like, to be on either side of the situation, I mean, obviously, a horrible, such as slavery had to come to an end, But goodness, I mean, when you really delve into the story, you see how much, people were manipulated, and I don't know, the idea that some folks could buy their way out of that situation, if they had the goods, if they had the money, the connections, and that still goes on, I don't know, I have a real problem with that, and I think maybe history can teach us a lot about how to look at this current period.
When it came time to record the Narrows in Nashville, clearly that city has no shortage of able-bodied musicians to fill in on a record. I'm curious how you put that crew together to make these songs come to life.
Well, I was fortunate. The drummer who played on this album, his name is Jerry Rowe. Fantastic musician, great dude who grew up in Nashville, was born there. His grandpa was Jerry Reed, who was like one of your major superstars and just fantastic musician, movie star, all of that, Smokey and the Bandit. Jerry grew up in that whole crazy world and probably picked up the drumsticks, before he could even walk. And I met him through our mutual friend, Glenn Phillips and Sean and Sarah Watkins of Nickel Creek, And he said, if you ever make it out to Nashville and you want to make a record, then, give me a ring, I'll help you do it. But you don't want to move there. You don't want to live there. And I ignored half of that suggestion. But yeah, Jerry introduced me to Lex Price, played the bass, and Russ Paul, pedal steel guitar player, and even the studio engineer, Colin Dupuis. And we made this record at Dan Auerbach's studio, Easy Eye, in Nashville. So yeah, really, really blessed to have fallen into such a cool team,
Certainly a lot of younger musicians, up-and-coming musicians, will move to a city like Nashville where it has a bass. You're furrowing your brow. I'm not calling you old. I'm calling you an experienced and respected musician. You are a known quantity. So I'm curious how it goes moving to a city where you have 10 or so records under your belt. You're not trying to make your name so much. You're an established artist. I'm curious how that experience has been working and living in that city that is so known for attracting musicians to come and live there.
I think a lot of musicians, and maybe Steve can weigh in on this as well. We're just looking for the right environment to create our work. How can we afford to live? How can we be in a place that inspires us? And maybe a place where you can get to the airport easily enough, that you in an hour's time you can be in New York or Philadelphia, St. Louis. By car you can be in 5 different states. All of that kind of stuff attracted me, and the musical legacy as well. I mean, what do you reckon, Steve?
I think that you live in a great place, and I think I can see why you moved there from LA and the people that you worked with. And I was just there, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago, and it's so easy to meet up with anybody. You have like 10 of the best of any type of instrument, and I think you could get anything done a lot easier, and everybody's willing to work and take a meeting with you and go do things. So I like that. It depends where you are. But I also think you can do that anywhere today. You can basically make a record anywhere, and there are no rules anymore. The people that wear the velvet rope that would deem you worthy to make a record don't exist anymore. Yeah. And anybody who wants to, can start their own little label, start their own records, and start putting stuff up via YouTube or TuneCore or anything and get their music out there. And if it resonates with the people and vibrates well, it's going to rise to the top. And you see that time and time again. You hear about these artists that are making records in their rooms, and then all of a sudden you're hearing about them. And some of the stuff is beautiful, and they're just making it like in Idaho or somewhere.
But you both worked in the label system, correct? I mean, you both have experience with that velvet rope that you talk about, and having to go through A&R handlers and a certain brass ring. Steve, I'm curious about your new record that you said is coming out, how the writing and recording of that maybe compares to where you started, either with the Rugbirds, your old band, or just as a solo artist in your younger days.
When I was on a major label, I was on Mercury Universal, and that you have like focus groups practically, you know, and you're talking about who's going to direct this video. I can't even believe they used to have like a huge video budget and a huge recording budget. And where do you want to record this? Oh, let's do it at Ocean Way, Studio 2 or Studio B, whatever, you know, and let's get Jim Keltner on it and Jerry Sheff on the bass and Leland Sklar to play bass on this song. And you know, in LA, you're able to pick all these session guys that probably have played with all the other people we were talking about earlier. And, so I still find joy in making music, I guess, is the point I want to make. And it was fun going through all that, but it's still just as fun. And for me, I'll just make a record when I feel like it. And, you know, there's good and bad in that, because I think it's neat to be able to bounce something off of a good producer who says, hey, I think you should go back to the drawing board. That song's not strong enough, or you need a couple more songs. Or I think a lot of times, you know, when we're our own bosses, we just go, I'll just put it all out. And I do like that too. I like the idea of like Guided by Voices putting out all these records and Robert Pollard putting out solo stuff and just this whole sea of material. I love that. But then I really like when somebody just puts out a really simple record like that guy Youth Lagoon. That first record that he put out I thought was so beautiful, and I listened to that so much. And there's such great music still being made. Yeah. And I don't know, it's just fun. It's a joy for me to be able to still make records. And for my newest record, I just had a handful of songs that were waiting to be recorded, and I hadn't recorded in San Diego in a long time where I live. I'd recorded in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where I was born. I'd recorded in Perth, West Australia, because I happened to be on tour out there. I'd recorded 3 records in Austin, Texas, recorded in L.A., but I hadn't made a record in San Diego since the Rugbirds days. And it was really neat to be home, go to my favorite coffee place, and then go into the studio and drive back home, sleep in my own bed, and eat good Mexican food and just hang out, you know? So,
would you mind playing a song from this forthcoming record for us, Steve?
I would. I wouldn't.
Will you? You will.
I would like
you
to.
Must,
I
yeah.
wouldn't mind. I want all my friends to be happy. I want all my friends to find love. I want all my friends to share good things and be blessed by the light from above. I want all my friends to be hopeful, not to be slaves to a bank. I hope that my friends never have to roll through the streets in a tank. I want all my friends to have kitchens stocked up with bountiful food. I hope they wake with a smile and say words like, it's awesome to be in St. Louis, let's get some toasted ravioli, dude. I want all my friends to know laughter, uncontrollable from deep in the gut. I want all my friends to have fine shoes and to pat someone cute on the butt. I want all my friends to go travel and to see the world for just what it is. A beautiful place to inhabit, a big melting pot made of bliss. I want all my friends to dance naked so that all of their neighbors can see. I want them all to be colorblind and to keep those skinhead racist demagogues far away from me. I want all my straight friends to love all of the gay friends I have. I love it if we all went to dinner, because my gay friends always pick up the tab. I want all my friends to be healthy, and when they see kale and greens, not just to scoff. I want them to live long and prosper, and to tell cancer to just go fuck off. I want all my friends to know one thing, that one day when I'm long dead and gone, I want them to know that I love them, and that's why I wrote them this song. 'Cause I want all my friends to be happy. I want all my friends to find love. I want all my friends to share good things and be blessed by the light from above. Ba-di-di-da-ba-ba-di-di-da-ba, ba-ba-di-di-da-ba-ba-di-ba-ba, ba-di-di-da-ba-ba-di-ba-ba-ba-di-da-ba-di-da-ba. 70s fade out.
I was gonna say you did your own fade out there. That's nice. I can see you can save Dan in there the headache of.
I did a 70s fade out for you, brother. I just thought it would be fun.
Awesome, Steve Poltz. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
What's the name of that track?
That's called I Want All My Friends to Be Happy. Yeah, it's track 3 or 4 on the record. I'll get you a copy.
Great.
It's in the trunk. I tried to give one to the cop. I almost gave me a ticket, and then he only gave me a warning, which was cool. I invited him to the show.
Was this in St. Louis today?
Just as we were crossing into town, I was going 82 and a 70, and he pulled me over, followed me to the gas station. And then I got out of the car, and he asked me what I did. I said, I'm playing a show. You should come to the show. He just ignored that and said, can I have your driver's license?
He wanted to make sure you were who you said you were.
Yeah, we had alien Florida license plates for some reason. We picked up the car in Pittsburgh. Some guy was coming out of Cracker Barrel, and we just knocked him over and took that car.
You boys ain't from around here, are you?
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit of that.
it was.
What's the new record called, Steve?
It's called Folk Singer.
Folk Singer.
Yeah, it's Folk Singer. That's what it's called, and it's got a picture of a bear with antlers holding a ukulele like it's a gun, and it says Folk Singer right over the ukulele. It was a vision I had. I was in Texas, and this guy was directing traffic. I was playing the Lukenbach Food Truck Festival, which is like a great gig, and this guy was directing traffic, and he had like prison tattoos all over him and 3 teeth, and he was wearing an orange vest. It was like 110 degrees outside, and he was really skinny. He just said, you got to head over that way. And I said, I'm one of the musicians. And he said, and take a dog leg left over there. And then he said, take it easy. And I love the way Take It Easy sounds, so I was going to call it my record, Take It Easy. And I just pictured him with the tattoo of a bear with antlers, like he was just drunk one night and ended up in the Philippines or something and had this tattoo. And so that was the cover. And I was going to call the record Taykeeidy, Take It Easy. But instead I liked the title Folk Singer. So I think my next record will be called Take It Easy. Maybe
really
it'll be our duo album.
Maybe.
it really all comes back to the Eagles, doesn't it?
It all
Yeah,
does.
I mean, really,
Take it
this is
Very good.
Steve, from what I can tell from looking at your website, you're not a guy that limits his his inner vision. You don't just keep it to yourself. Some of your writing on there tends towards the impressionistic.
Yeah, I don't censor anything. I don't care who tapes what. I don't care if they film me, and I don't care where they put it. I don't care if they buy my CDs and make copies of it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just like to throw it all out there. I like a lot of content, so I have a lot of records out there. I actually really do like the Bob Pollard approach, the Guided by Voices approach. Nothing to me is that precious other than having a good work ethic, which I love. That's precious to me, to be able to go out and do what I do. And I got kind of sick a year ago, and ended up in the hospital and had a stroke. And after that happened, I lost my vision on stage and went blind. And then my vision came back, and when it came back, I couldn't read. And then ever since then, I was just like, I didn't care really a lot before. I just would throw things out, but now I have even more of a lust for life and a joy of life. I love that I get to do this. It's so beautiful that I get to go out and play shows, and I get to be with Grant, and then wherever I end up. And, we played this place last night called Casey's Pub, and for all intents and purposes, it was like a scene out of the movie. What was that movie called?
Oh, boy.
Jeff Bridges' film.
Yeah, Crazy Hard. Very Crazy Hard.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was awesome. And it was like one of the highlights of the tour for me. This guy was so sweet, this guy Niels. Yeah. And his wife was a big fan. And just watching how happy they were and what music does to people and how it brings people together and what you're able to do and how beautiful of a gift I've been given to be able to do this and look people in the eye and know that it's honest work. Feels good. And it doesn't matter who you're voting for or anything. It's more of bringing people together and not alienating people. Just knowing that they're coming into a zone where they could be whoever they want to be, as long as they're not a jerk,
Because that song has certainly a lightheartedness to it, but it's sincere. I think the message of it is pretty direct in the title, but everything you kind of walk through, it's not a put on. It seems pretty much from the heart.
I wrote it for my friend who died of cancer, and I was with him the last 5 days of his life. Hence the line about cancer and there to duck off. It was really powerful to be with him and watch him slowly fade away to wherever we go. It was beautiful. And you'd think it would be depressing, but it wasn't. It was gorgeous. Like I was singing really rowdy songs and having a great time with him. It was kind of a celebration. And so that's why I wrote the song, was for him.
Would you mind doing one more from this upcoming folk singer record for us?
Yeah, I would love to. You've been pissing in a bottle and you can't see through the fog. A trucker jackknifed in the snow up ahead for sure. The rate I got you clocked, 87 and a 55. Cops all want to search your car because they think you're high. Finally reached the club and they got no posters up. Play to 12 people, half a puking in a cup. Sell 2 CDs, give another 6 away. You're hoping that somebody has a place where you could stay. Got a 10-hour drive in the morning, don't sweat it. Keep thinking about the gig last night, you wish you could forget it. Listen to a podcast, a radio lab. Try to call your mom but end up yelling at your dad. Car needs gas, so you're pulling to the come and go. The Weather Channel says that you're about to hit some snow. Sell 1 CD, give another 8 away to add insult to injury. You had to pay to play. You're a folk singer, folk singer. You're a washed up punk, still a dead ringer. For a folk singer, you're a folk singer for sure. Club owner says you should have played here last week, 'cause right now it's finals and no one makes a peep. He wishes that the money could have been a lot more, but the deal was only for a small percentage of the door. $27 and a couple foreign bills. Tried to pass a hat, but everyone was high on pills. Play a new song, no applause, just crickets. The bartender says I'll give you 2 drink tickets. Folk singer, folk singer, yo, a washed up punk. Still a dead ringer for a folk singer, yo, a folk singer for sure. You get a good offer for a gig in Atlanta, but the airline sent your guitar all the way to Montana. Get a real person on the phone from United, lose your cool and tell the dude to go bite it. Borrow a guitar to try to cool your rage. Walk into the club and someone else is on stage. Sell no CDs, the club was double booked. You never even got to play, you feel your life is overlooked. Folk singer, folk singer, yo, a washed up punk. Still a dead ringer for a folk singer, yo, a folk singer for sure. Finally get some sleep and there's a nice blue sky, and the airlines found your guitar all the way in Dubai. Say that it'll be there for your gig in Tallahassee, but you ate some bad food, feeling kinda gassy. Get a Motel 6, wish it was Ritz. At least you got a private place because you got the shit. Sell 5 hats and 2 CDs. Yes sir, no ma'am, thank you please. Folk singer, folk singer, yo, a washed up punk. Still a dead ringer for a folk singer, yo, a folk singer for sure. Your manager grabs you right before you play a show and says, I think that you should dye your hair because it's white as snow. Girlfriend calls you as you leave the stage. She saw a picture of you with a chick and now she's in a rage. Break up, break down, break it all to hell. Charging all the damage to your hotel bill. Sell 5 stickers for 50 cents. Yo, a folk singer now, yo, about to make a dent. Folk singer, folk singer, yo, a washed up punk. Still a dead ringer for a folk singer, yo, a folk singer for sure. Finally get some good news from the booking agent dude. At the club tonight they'll give you half off on your food. Place is packed, gonna make you feed, but they wouldn't even turn off the sports TV. Feel like you climbed another rung on the ladder, yo, another day older, another day fatter. I'm a folk singer now in the pale moonlight. That's how I'm singing in the studios of KDHX tonight. I'm a folk singer, folk singer. I'm a washed up punk, still a dead ringer. I'm a folk singer, I'm a folk singer for sure. I'm a folkety folker, I'm a Bram Stoker joker, I'm a vampire smoker, I'm a motherfucking folker today.
Steve Poltz, folk singer, the title track to your forthcoming record,
yeah.
a song you can only write after a couple decades on the road. Right?
Everything in that song is true. Like everything, just about.
Is it as much fun as it sounds like?
It is fun. I couldn't have picked a better job. Are you kidding me? I had this job when I was younger, and I made pizzas at a place called Round Table Pizza. And it was crazy because they gave me a microphone where you would announce the orders, and you'd say, like, Smith, party of 4, your large pepperoni, sausage, olive pizza is ready. Please come up and get it. The counter. And I would try to extend it with as many words as possible because I just liked saying stuff on the mic. And so it got to the point where I would sing people's orders, unbeknownst to the owner of the Round Table Pizza franchise chain that we had. And so one day, I guess he came in and was doing like one of those spy things where he acted like he was a customer. Yeah, undercover boss back in the day. And this is in La Mesa, California, which is a suburb of San Diego. And I started singing people's orders, and people would be clapping. I would make up songs like, you have a large vegetarian pizza. Come and get it now, everybody. And I had everybody clapping. And the next morning, I got a call. And this is years ago. It's probably like 1980. And I picked it up, and he goes, is this Steve Poltz? And I said, yeah. And he goes, this is Mr. McDonald, the owner of Round Table Pizza. And I said, oh, hey, how's it going, Mr. McDonald? And then he said, can you come in and pick up your check now? And I said, we're getting paid early? And then he said, no, you're fired. We need pizza makers, not entertainers. And right then my heart just swelled up with pride because I knew that I was an entertainer. And so I went and got my check, and I was so happy, and I hitchhiked up to Northern California and was playing guitar with some friends of mine. I said, I'm an entertainer. This is awesome. And so that was the beginning of my illustrious career. But I can still make a good pizza.
You inadvertently created the showbiz pizza model, it sounds like, too.
I did.
You really kind of should have cashed in on that.
I know, right? Yeah, I've been fortunate that this is all I really want to do. Like, I could win the lottery tomorrow, and I wouldn't really change anything. I'd still rent that Chevy Impala, still be getting pulled over by the cops. I'd still play this same guitar. I don't need another guitar. I don't really need a lot.
And you'd still tour with Grantley Phillips.
Oh, yeah. Totally. We have so much fun on stage together, We have this good little yin-yang thing happening. We're already planning some dates in Northern California for May. I think it's May.
Yeah, May. We
need to come back to St. Louis.
Come back and see us when these records come out.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd love to.
What a great city this is. This area right here, all these old brick warehouses, it's just so visually appealing to me. It's so different than Southern
I love
California.
brick.
Yeah. Isn't it great?
I was a calzone in a past life.
You were?
Yeah. I love being around brick.
It's our city color. You'll be down, where Old Rock House is. Our stadium, Cardinal Stadium, is down there, and it's relatively, 10 years old, but something about what is it, Andy? Do you know anything about this? The brick and the mud. We got this kind of red clay in this part of town. So you see all the. Not this is a bad example.
But these are old rocks.
But these are
right.
What's that?
Old rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
you
there's
like
something
old rocks
about
too,
it.
right, Steve?
Brick, yeah, but old rocks.
Old rock is great.
Old
too.
Rock House.
Yeah.
None of that new rock. So.
Yeah. And the Redbirds are going to be pretty good again. They're perennial contenders, those Redbirds, ever since the days of Whitey Herzog even.
You know your Cardinals history, man.
Oh, man, I was in the...
You know Toasted Ravioli. You remembered the call letters for our station. You know Whitey Herzog, man. You're an all-star.
Dude, I was in the top of the arch, and I was on tour with Jewel, and we got a call that Mark McGuire wanted to meet her during the home run race where he was going up against Sammy Sosa. And we're on tour with Jewel, and the publicist says, Mark McGuire wants to meet you. And she looks at me and she goes, who's Mark McGuire? And I go, who's Mark McGuire? He's only going after the home run record that was set by Roger Maris of 61 home runs in 1961 when he took Babe Ruth's record away from him. Now he's going up against Sammy Sosa, and they're both trying to beat the record. And nobody even really knew that. Everybody's on steroids, that they had gone on steroids to bring the people back to the seats and everything. But there was this big home run race was all it was talking about. And so he said he wanted to meet Jewel, and she sent me down to the locker room because she was scared to go down to the locker room alone and meet Mark McGuire. So she sent me down like I was Robert Duvall in The Godfather 2, like her consigliere. And then I told him, okay, yeah, I'll let you meet Jewel if you can introduce me to Jack Buck, because I always liked the announcer, Jack Buck. I liked his voice because it sounded like he took his vocal cords out and soaked them in whiskey and blew cigar smoke on them. So she immediately goes, okay, yeah, you could go down. And he says, I'll introduce you to Jack Buck. So I get to go out on the field. Jack Buck gives me a book of his poetry, signs it. And Jack Buck's voice obviously was like, coming up in the bottom of the ninth inning, Mark McGuire, going up the home run records at my Roger Maris, a 61 home run in 1961. I don't believe what I just saw. And it was like one of the most amazing voices. So for me, I love coming back here and, thinking about that.
That's amazing. Now I miss Jack Buck. Now I'm sad, but, I appreciate that. It was a really great impression.
Oh, good.
And that was awesome.
Well, and Grant,
the son of my childhood. So
Grant is better at impressions than I am. Like we drive down the road and he'll sometimes interview me like he's Robert Siegel from NPR, or sometimes he'll just be Johnny Carson. Sometimes he's Chris Matthews playing hardball on MSNBC. So I can only do baseball announcers, but he's got a.
That's a niche, though. That is a niche.
It is a niche.
Yeah.
But you have a really large group of people to pull from.
Yeah, but I only have you to perform to.
It's fun, though.
He's an enabler.
I am an enabler.
Yeah.
Awesome. Grant is he's a great songwriter and just a good humanitarian.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Steve.
And again, our thanks to both Grantley Phillips and Steve Poltz for coming in and playing for us and giving a very entertaining interview. A lot of wide-ranging conversation we heard in there. Songs we heard from Grantley Phillips, both from his new record called The Narrows. Songs we heard called Smoke and Sparks. Also heard the song called Holy Irons. From Steve Poltz's forthcoming record, Folk Singer, we heard the title track as well as I Want All My Friends to Be Happy. We'd like to thank Andy, Coco, and Dan Kinney for their production work this week on the program. We'd also like to thank you for tuning in to Collector's Edition. You can find us at our website, collectors.kdhextra.org. That's collectors.kdhxtra.org. You can also follow us on Twitter at CollectorsKDHX. Collector's Edition is recorded at the KDHX studios in the Larry J. Weir Center for Independent Media in Midtown St. Louis, with support from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. As befitting a show that is built around bonus content and extra stuff, we have a little bit of a bonus track for you this week. Steve Poltz kind of took the podcast out of my hands this week in a really great way. I was happy to let him take over the interview portion. So what you hear the next 5 minutes or so, if you're interested, is the next little bit of he and Grant talking back and forth, which I assume they do a lot on stage and in their car rides when they're on tour together. But it was too good just to leave on the cutting room floor, so we'll leave you with that. This has been Christian Schaeffer signing off. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
One
Did you
for the
know John
road.
Hartford was from St. Louis, I think?
John Hartford, who wrote Gentle on My Mind, was from St. Louis.
Yeah, because he used to ride on the boats, the river boats. Yeah. He was a captain.
Wow. He was a captain, a riverboat captain.
He was a Renaissance man. He could tap dance, played the banjo, violin, guitar. You know, he wrote the best songs ever. Put out my favorite record in existence, Aerial Plane, which is like one of the best records ever made. And so it was weird when I met Grant. How did we end up doing this song?
I don't know. I think we were kind of like, we're basically kicking it around, like, what, any cover songs? Any other songs, And then Steve says, well, I do Gentle on My Mind. I said, that's like my favorite childhood song.
Is it really?
Yeah, truthfully it is, And Glenn Campbell played the 12-string guitar, and so I had to have
How old were you when you
12-string
started
guitar.
playing guitar?
13. Yeah.
13. You're listening to Steve Poltz's podcast. It's great that you guys have all tuned in.
Good to be here, Steve.
What about Grantley Buffalo? So you were 13. Did you form Grantley Buffalo when you were 13?
I was a little older when Grantley Buffalo formed. We met in my 20s, and by my late 20s, we were beginning to put out records.
Because you guys are a great band.
Why, thank you. Well, I mean, we it's something that I did.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about the Gilmore Girls? Aren't you like the town troubadour on that?
I am the town troubadour on the Gilmore Girls, and thank you for knowing
We saw
that.
you the other day on TV. We came in late and turned on the Gilmore Girls, and there he was.
Well, it's
How'd
been
that come about?
It's been well. Thank you for asking, Steve. Steve has somehow managed a coup of your podcast.
You can have it. Keep on going. This is great.
No, but I really do want to know that because I haven't got to ask you how it came about.
The creators of the Gilmore Girls, Amy Sherman Palladino, and her husband Daniel Palladino, they were fans of Grantley Buffaloes, as I understand, and of mine, and they reached out to me and they said, "Would you want to, be on the show?" And so. Yeah, of course. And
how cool.
It kind of just snowballed from there, but it came from a really genuine love and curiosity about, the music. And, yeah.
And
such
your role
fun.
was what? You would sing, because the episode I saw, you were singing Peace
Well, I was sort of
Train.
a one-man Greek choir, sort of subtly commenting by way of juxtaposition, a song that I would sing would kind of complement the drama. And now and then I would have lines I could really kind of dig deep, be dramatic, go to that place, get all methody.
And I hear the Gilmore Girls are going to do a few more episodes. Is that true? Like a Redux type thing, or
I don't know what the word is.
Reunion?
They're going to do a Netflix like a
Will you be on
reboot.
that?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I can honestly
Breaking
say so.
news.
Yeah.
This is great. I've been wanting to ask him this, and I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to temporarily hijack the thing, but I was wondering this. Like, we talk about so many other things, like how do we get more bottles of real maple syrup from Cracker Barrel, but we haven't really discussed this.
We do compare notes a lot, by the way. I'll say to Steve, so how many pants you bring on the road? How many socks? He was like, well, I got this one pair of pants. I've got 6 socks, 7 if you count the ones I'm wearing. And so he's got a system going,
I do.
And so we can really compare notes like that,
But I haven't really got to ask him this. So thank you for letting me ask him about the Gilmore Girls, because the show is really cool. And his role is neat. Now, one other question I have. Do you think that the Farrelly brothers took that idea when they had Jonathan Richman play a role of a troubadour in his thing, and also Loudon Wainwright did it in a different film? I wonder who did it first.
Something about Mary predates my involvement in the Gilmore Girls.
Gotcha.
I think it predates the show, actually.
Because it's really, and Robin Hitchcock does it in a movie, too, with Jack Black. Muriel's Wedding. And Robin Hitchcock's a singer.
Right. Yeah. Jonathan Demme movie?
Yeah, Jonathan Demme movie.
Yeah.
Who also directed the Neil Young documentary.
Wow.
And did a great job on that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Storefront
And-
Hitchcock as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of folks who are big music fans, and some of them, know how to work a camera and write a story, and we're lucky when that happens, when they kind of latch on to folks like ourselves.
Well,
have
we're
you been in
lucky-
any films yourself, Steve? Have you
No, I
ventured
want
into
to
the
be.
silver screen?
I
think you're ready made for it.
I've done a soundtrack to a movie. It's called Running Wild: The Life of Dayton O'Hyde. But it would be fun to be in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be neat. This is cool that you had us in on your podcast, by the way. I mean it. It's neat in here, and you guys were so nice. You brought us tea.
Yeah, thank you.
And the guy behind the board is so cool.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch because he just laughs back there and he like twists knobs. And I think you filming it, you have a really good production ethos. And
Thank
guys
you
are
for not
nice.
dropping any microphones inside of our guitars. I felt so bad for Adele last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A little treated piano occurred by accident. But
It was very
she held her
avant-garde
own.
of her to do that.
Yeah. I bet if I heard that song a few times, it would stick in my.
But yeah, we want to thank you for having us.
Thanks
in
a
here.
lot.
It's really nice.
Grantley Phillips, Steve Poltz, thank you so much for coming in. And really, I would, if you didn't have a show to play tonight, we could just roll tape, and you guys could just do that all night.
We'd love that.
Really?
We can come back
Oh,
after the show. keep our tea warm. We'll be back.
That would be so fun.